Hey, glad you're here. Real quick, what is your car payment right now? Not your mortgage, not your rent. Your car payment. Got that number in your head? Now multiply it by the number of months left on your loan. Go ahead. We'll wait. That number sitting in your head right now, that is money that is gone. Not invested, not saved, not building anything, just gone every single month like clockwork. And here's the thing nobody tells you when you are sitting in that dealership signing papers. The average American will spend more money on cars over their lifetime than they will put into their retirement account. Let that sink in for a second. The thing sitting in your driveway, the thing that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot, is costing you your future. One monthly payment at a time. The worst part? The whole system. The dealership, the finance company, the insurance company, every single one of them is making money off the fact that you are focused on the monthly payment and not the total cost. That is not an accident.
That is the business model. Here is how it works. You walk into a dealership. You have a number in your head, maybe $30,000. That is your budget. You're being responsible. And then a salesperson sits down across from you and asks one question. What monthly payment are you comfortable with? Not what is your budget? Not how much do you want to spend total? Just what can you handle every month? And the second you answer that question, you lost.
Because now they are not selling you a $30,000 car. They are selling you a $500 a month feeling. And they can stretch that feeling out over 84 months. 7 years. And suddenly you're driving a $45,000 car that you told yourself you could not afford. The monthly payment is the oldest trick in the book.
And it works every single time. Because $500 a month sounds manageable. $45,000 sounds terrifying. Same car, same debt, completely different feeling. They know that. They count on that. Every single month when that payment comes out of your account, they win again.
Now, here is where it gets really uncomfortable. Most Americans, and I mean most, are underwater on their car loans right now. Underwater means you owe more on the car than the car is actually worth. Here's why that happens. The moment you drive a new car off the lot, it loses roughly 10 to 15% of its value. Before you even get home, gone. By year 3, the car's lost 30 to 40% of what you paid for it. But your loan does not care about any of that. Your loan is still sitting there at the full amount you borrowed, plus interest. So you have a car worth $20,000 and a loan for $28,000. And here is the trap inside the trap. When it is time for a new car, because the old one needs repairs or the lease is up, or honestly, you just want something newer, the dealer rolls that difference into your new loan. So now you are starting your next car loan already $8,000 in the hole. And the cycle just keeps going and going. This is called negative equity. And it is one of the quietest financial disasters happening to the American middle class right now.
Let me give you some real numbers, because I think this hits differently when you see it laid out. The average new car payment in America right now is just over $700 a month. $700. The average loan term is 72 months, 6 years. $700 times 72 months is $50,400.
A car that will be worth maybe $12,000 to $15,000 by the time you make that last payment. Now add insurance. The average American pays about $2,000 a year to insure their vehicle. Over 6 years, that is another $12,000. Maintenance, registration, gas. And here is the upgrade trap that keeps the whole thing spinning. Most Americans do not keep a car long enough to own it free and clear. The average person trades in their vehicle every 3 to 4 years, which means they almost never reach the point where they have no car payment. Think about what that means over a lifetime. From the time you are 22 until you retire at 65, that is 43 years of car payments. At $700 a month. That is over $360,000. Gone. Not invested. Not compounding. Not building toward anything. Gone. Not invested. Not compounding. Not building toward anything. $360,000 spent on things that rusted and depreciated and ended up in a junkyard somewhere. And if you had invested that same money instead at a modest 7% return, you would have somewhere between $1.5 and $2 million sitting in an account right now. $2 million versus a used car worth $8,000. That is the trade Americans are making every single day without ever realizing it. Now, I want to be clear. I am not saying do not own a car. This is America. You need a car. That is just reality for most people. What I am saying is the car you drive should match your financial situation, not your feelings, not what your neighbor drives, not what the dealer convinced you that you deserved. So, what do you actually do differently starting today? First, total cost thinking. Before you ever step into a dealership, calculate the total cost, not the monthly payment, the total. Purchase price plus interest plus insurance plus maintenance over 5 years. That number will change how you see every car on that lot. Second, the used car math. A 2 to 3 year old car has already taken the depreciation hit. Someone else absorbed that 10 to 15% loss the moment they drove it off the lot. You get a car that runs perfectly for significantly less money. That is not settling. That is smart. Third, the ownership goal. The single most powerful financial move you can make with a car is to own it free and clear and then keep driving it. Every month after your last payment is a month where that money stays in your pocket. People who drive paid-off cars and bank the difference build wealth faster than almost any other middle-class strategy. Fourth, the 15% rule. Your total car expenses, payment, insurance, gas, maintenance, should not exceed 15% of your take-home pay. If it does, the car is running your finances, not the other way around. I want to leave you with one thought. The cars we drive are one of the most visible things about us. People see them, we feel them. There is a reason dealerships have soft lighting and that new car smell and salespeople who make you feel like you earned this. Because the feeling of buying a new car is one of the most powerful feelings in American consumer culture. And that feeling is worth hundreds of billions of dollars a year to an industry that has perfected the art of making you confuse a depreciating liability with a reward for working hard. You did work hard. You deserve better than a 7-year loan on something that will be worth a fraction of what you paid
before you even finish paying for it. The best car for your future is not the one that impresses people in the parking lot. It is the one that eventually disappears from your budget entirely. And on the day you make your last car payment and you decide to keep driving it, that is the day the math finally starts working for you instead